She had the worst traumatic brain injury that you could ever have. It's a global traumatic brain injury. And so it affected, her whole body system and her brain especially. That day, I don't think I could ever erase the memory of that happening. I was supposed to take my little sister to her basketball practice because she had a game that day. So I took my sister to practice, and I thought it was weird because my mom never really called me. Normally she's the type to, make sure everything's set and everybody's where they need to be and stuff like that. And so I was getting really panicked. So I was calling her school. I was calling her phone, leaving her voicemail, stuff like that. And so I just got this really sunken feeling. And I was like, there's something wrong. And my dad called me and he's like, Erin. And I was like, what? And he paused for a long time. And then his voice started to quiver. And so I was like, I'm gonna hear that my mom's dead or something. She was obviously struck by a drunk driver. We met up and we drove to Wichita, and we got to the hospital. We get in there and I automatically freeze. My whole body was I felt paralyzed because I couldn't do anything. And she was hooked up to all these tubes. Every part of her body was swollen. I just was like, that's not my mom, And so that was hard to see her in that way. The coaches came and supported me, and they were like, we totally understand if you feel like you need to be with your family. So I had talked to them. I fought about it with myself millions of times. I was like, I just want to be with them, with my family. But I love softball. And I was like, I know that my mom would not want me to give up on something that I love. And so I decided to stay. And it has been one of the most rewarding things I think I've ever been a part of. Having the whole family aspect of the team really helped because I was kind of lacking that with not being able to be with my family. I think what happened to my mom was a big thing that we all kind of had to overcome a little. We were, I don't know, I can't express in words how much it meant to me that those girls were there for not just me, but for my mom. Because they didn't have to be. They could have just been like, I'm here for softball in school, and this is what I want to do. I don't really want to put any of my energy into anything else. And they did it, willingly. I had gone to see her, I'd done some therapies and played games with her and stuff like that. She would call me on my grandma's phone and tell me I walked this many steps today, and I was just like, wow, this is so awesome. You walked 10 steps, that's a big thing, because no one projected that she would ever, walk again, maybe even, be alive for as long as she has been. I was like, well, now that you're walking, you're just gonna have to walk me out on the field on senior night, It was exciting. It was really, I was so proud of her. It was a very powerful moment, and it was such a big accomplishment for her. Everybody was so happy. I was so proud of her that she could, push through the pain and just fight and walk with me on my senior day because, freshman year, I never would have thought that would have even been an option. I didn't even know how long she would have, could have been alive, She was just literally the biggest fighter I've known, and I look up to her so much for that. It's really awesome to, hear other people tell me how big of an inspiration my mom is, because I already knew it, and so it's well, now they know. And so, you know, when I talk about my mom and being an inspiration to me, now they truly know how big of an inspiration she is to other people.